Hello, all the internet people. It's been quite a while since I did a writing update, and to be honest with you, you haven't missed much. I haven't been writing a whole lot lately. It's been a lot of health issues going on, some with me and with other people I know. But I'm very excited because next month is Nanowrimo. So, November is National Novel Writing Month, and it is a challenge. It is well known to a lot of the authors that I follow and a lot of the authors that I know of, where the object of NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month, is to write a full-length novel. Now, a full-length novel is usually 50,000 words or more for a full-length novel. So the object of NaNoWriMo is to write an entire novel, meaning 50,000 words or more, in 1 month, in 30 days. And it's quite a challenge. I tried to do NaNoWriMo, I think 2 years ago when I was writing A Thread of Magic. I tried to do it then, even though at that point I was like halfway through A Thread of Magic, but I figured that's what I'm working on, and I didn't want to lose momentum on that. So I just did A Thread of Magic. And what I discovered was that I couldn't keep up with the word count for the most part. Couldn't keep up with the word count. The word count was quite a bit. In order to do 50,000 words in a month, okay, you have to do so many words in a day, or you have to catch up. So you have to write every single day of that month and accomplish certain word count every day in order to get that done. So it's quite the challenge. Like I said, I couldn't keep up with the word count goal, my daily word count goal for NaNoWriMo. Okay, the sun is coming up and it's making my thing go crazy. Goodness gracious. Hello, sun. Anyways, hopefully that's a little bit better. I don't know. It was pretty bright in my library. I like a lot of light to read, but not very conducive to making videos all the time, necessarily. Let's try again. Goodness gracious. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Anyway, so like I said, I tried to do it and I couldn't keep up with the word count. This year, I do want to try again because I am at the beginning phases of 2 different novels. And it would be a really fun thing to do, I think. I've always wanted to try again, and I just didn't. I was just not in a good spot in anything that I was writing to do NaNoWriMo. But I want to try and do NaNoWriMo now. So the issue is that currently I am attempting to write 2 different novels at the same time. So that's what's making it difficult. Is I need to pick one of these novels to take with me into NaNoWriMo and try to finish by the end of November. So yeah, that's the goal. It's like which I'm kind of in the same beginning stages for both these novels, or kind of both in the same area, and I've kind of been working on both of them at the same time, but I need to pick one to take with me into NaNoWriMo and finish and try and complete. So in this spiral here, which is a very fancy spiral, as you can tell, But seriously, like, look at the spacing of these lines. You can't see because it's super bright. Look at that. And this spiral is my retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. And it's going fairly well. I'm loving the characters in this one. It's and I'm kind of in love with my sassy, curvy Little Red Riding Hood who does not take any crap from anybody, and I really like the wolf in this one. He's a little more he's a little darker than other main characters that I've written in the past. Maybe like a little bit more darker than Rumpelstiltskin, or maybe not. Maybe he's the same amount of dark as Rumpelstiltskin. I don't know. I've got about that much written. That much is finished. So not a whole lot is finished with Little Red Riding Hood. But I'm really loving that story. I think it's going to be good when it's finished. And then the other one that I'm writing, and you guys knew it wasn't going to go away forever, is in this one. Very pretty, super fancy. This is wood. Feel that? Well, you can't feel it because you're only watching. But look at look at that. Look at my serial killer handwriting. Look at that. Anyway, that being said, this one is Hook. Okay. And we're not even going to go into the topic of my toxic relationship with the story of Hook. That is a story for an entire another video. I need like a whole video's length in order to tell you about my toxic relationship with the main character of Hook. But suffice to say that whenever I give up on Hook and I'm like, I'm not going to write Hook anymore, I'm going to go write something else because I don't know what's supposed to happen in Hook. Whenever I do that and I get into the middle of something else, and I start falling in love with other characters and other stories that I'm writing, like Little Red Riding Hood here, all of a sudden, Hook pops back up in my head and starts telling me all of the stuff that I wanted to know before, that I didn't know before, and I couldn't finish the story with that before, but now he's in my head running around going, this happened, and this happened, and this happened. And it's super exciting, and it's super intriguing, and I'm like, where have you been? He's like a toxic boyfriend. That's what Hook is. So that's basically what happened, is I started really falling in love with these characters of Little Red Riding Hood, and then all of a sudden, I figured out and knew what was wrong with the story before, because I had hit a point with Hook where I could not figure out what was wrong with Hook. I couldn't figure out where the story was supposed to go. There was something in the chapter that I was writing that was really bothering me and like grating on me, like there's something wrong here, but I couldn't figure out what that thing was, and I could not progress any further without figuring out what that thing was. So I was at a standstill with Hook. So I started writing another story. I started writing a Little Red Riding Hood and falling in love with those characters, and then Hook pops back up in my head. And Hook, the story of Hook is just unfolding in my head, and I know exactly what was wrong with it, and I know exactly what I need to do to fix it, and exactly what's supposed to happen in the rest of the story. And I'm like, it's frustrating sometimes when your characters, like, they won't talk to you when you want them to talk to you, but then they want to talk to you when you want to talk to somebody else. It's like that toxic spouse or that toxic mate that's just like pops back into your life. That's pretty much my relationship with Hook, but I so adore where this story will go, what this story will be about, and it was such a little tiny thing that was the issue and had really ground it to a halt, and I could not proceed any further. What ended up being the issue was such a tiny, tiny little thing, and was so easily fixed with like a simple rewriting of like literally a couple of paragraphs. That's all I had to do, was rewrite maybe 3 paragraphs in the first chapter. And all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's perfect. This is what was wrong, and now it's perfect, and now we can move on. So yeah. So now I'm writing Hook again. But I was too in love with the story that I was writing with Little Red Riding Hood, and this wolf that, she's got this secret, and the wolf knows the secret, and she doesn't know what the secret is, but the village does, and I'm just loving all these characters. And it became a thing where it was like, one story was like, pick me, and another story was like, pick me. And I really couldn't choose between them. And so I've just been bouncing back and forth between one story and another. So in preparation, I really want to get all my preparation done in October for Nanowrimo. So I need to figure out which of these stories I'm going to take with me into Nanowrimo and try and finish for Nanowrimo, and really figure out where that's gonna go. And I really want to know, but I'm kind of scared to know at the same time. And I literally, I can't decide. I can't pick. I don't know. With Little Red Riding Hood, this one, it's such a good story, and the heroine is this curvy, sassy, apprentice witch who's apprenticed under her grandmother, and she knows that there's something wrong in her village and the way that the other villagers treat her. She knows it, she can feel it, but she doesn't know what that particular secret is, or what it is that they're keeping from her. So, I love her. I really adore Lily as my heroine. And then Dimitri, who is the wolf, I just love a villain who is not a villain. I love me a villain that's not a villain. And so Dimitri is really close to me, close to my heart, because he's supposed to be the bad guy, in Red Riding Hood, he's supposed to be the bad guy, but actually, he's not the bad guy. And that he just knows things that these other villagers don't want him to know. That is his great wrong. So, I love this story, and I can't let go of this story. And then with Hook, with this book, look how pretty this is. With Hook, though, it was me blocking myself. It was such a little fix, and such an easy fix to fix, that it was just like I couldn't see the forest for the trees. It was literally right there in front of my face if I had just looked at it and paid attention to it, and it would have been easily fixed long ago. So basically, I need to pick which one of these stories is going to go into Nanowrimo with me. Which one of these stories is going to be the one that I'm going to attempt to finish in Nanowrimo. Because it's not like I'm not going to write the other one. Whatever I choose, I'm still going to write the other one. But it would be really great. Nanowrimo is a perfect opportunity to get one of these stories finished and done, and at least to the editing stage, so that I can write the other one. And then that way I don't have to give up either story. And I can have both stories, and I can do both stories, and still, have my cake and eat it too a little bit. So, but I really I love Hook. I've been trying to write Hook for 2 years. Off and on, we've had this on again, off again relationship with Hook. I have. So, I kind of want to finish that one, but I kind of also want to finish the Red Riding Hood retelling because I love those characters. And with Hook, it's like nobody is who they're supposed to be. Nobody is who you think they are. Peter Pan is not the good guy and the innocent little boy and the eternal spirit of youth. He's not that nice. He's got some darkness to him, and he's definitely corrupted at this point at the beginning of the story. And Tinkerbell, everybody loves Tinkerbell, and Tinkerbell is determined to save him, and it may cost her life to do so. And Hook is determined to save Tinkerbell. So, and Hook does not really care whether they save Peter or not, but he's determined to save Tinkerbell. And then they're going to realize that, if Peter Pan is corrupted, then Neverland is corrupted. And if there's no Peter Pan, there's no Neverland. So if they're going to save Neverland, they have to save Peter. So it's this really interesting dynamic between the two of them where Tinkerbell, where Tinkerbell loves him and Hook hates him. But they need to work together to save her greatest love and his greatest enemy. And I love that story as well. Love it. Love that story also. So for me, it's really a question of like, which one do I pick to take to Nanowrimo with me? Which one am I going to try and finish? Like I said, whichever one I take into Nanowrimo with me and finish, I'll still write the other one. Whichever one I don't take with me, I'm still gonna get written. But it's like, which one should I try to do with Nanowrimo? So that's the biggest question for me is like, I haven't decided yet. I have not made any firm decisions as to which one I'm going to pick. But if you have an opinion of which story should go into National Novel Writing Month with me and which one I should try and finish in a month, let me know. And I will take it into consideration because I have no firm opinion on which one would be the best one to try and accomplish this really fun challenge of National Novel Writing Month. So I don't have a firm, idea of which one. But if you have an opinion of which one, should I do the pirate or should I do the wolf? It's a tough question for me. So if you have an opinion about it, let me know, and I'll update again next week. Hopefully by next week I'll have a decision because I really need to get into the nitty-gritty of October, which is also called Preptober. I need to start preparing one of these stories to do Nanowrimo with, so I got to make a decision. So let me know which one you think I should do. And just let me know down in the comments. Bye!